Like, do you stay in Puglia mostly or in Veneto? Do you go, how, oops.
No worries.
Jack? Okay.
Italian Wine Podcast. Chin Chin with Italian wine people.
Welcome to another episode of On the Road Edition, hosted by Stevie Kim. Today, she continues her conversation with Masseria Cuturi Winery's Camilla Rossi-Chauvenet. This massive estate is located in Manduria, Puglia, in a calm and peaceful place. And so listen in as Stevie talks to Camilla about her aspirations for the future, the traditions, the food, the wine, and of course the running of this amazing southern Italian property.
Hello, everybody. My name's Stevie Kim, and this is Italian Wine Podcast On the Road Edition. It is my great pleasure to introduce you to Camilla Rossi-Chauvenet, a young wine producer from Verona who has started a huge, very ambitious project also in Puglia. The project is called Masseria Cuturi, and it is an enormous estate with everything. There is everything going on here. Of course, obviously, the vineyards, wine, there are olive groves, there are trullis, she does education, she does so many things here. But today, we're just going to talk to her to give you a small overview of why she's here and what she's doing in Puglia. And this area is called Manduria, so let's welcome Camilla. Ciao, Camilla.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao, Stevie.
Okay, so Camilla, where are you from originally?
I came from Veneto, from Valpolicella, so Verona, and yes, I'm Venetian 100%.
So you have a winery. You're a young wine producer from Verona, and your winery is called Massimago. When did you start Massimago?
I started in 2003 with 1,000 bottles,
right.
And right now we are producing 100,000 bottles.
So it's grown quite quickly, but it seems like it's even faster here, right? So, and then what happened? You came here in 2008, I believe?
Yes, we came for an irrational choice. I mean, a Tommy choice. we met a technician who was planting our vines in Valpolicella, and he was talking so well about Puglia, about the landscape, about the soils, how it was wonderful to be there, to produce wine there. So me and my father, we decided to come here and to discover by ourselves how was it in real. So we came here and we really fell in love with this land and with these soils, but especially with the people we met here, because we discovered real vignerons that were taking care so carefully about their vines as their child. So that's why we found this Masseria, and we decided to start this really ambitious project. So when we arrived in 2008, there was nothing here, because this property it's really famous because in 1881 the first vines of Primitivo has been planted in Manduria for the first time in 1881. In Manduria.
In Manduria.
So
is this the reason why it's called Masseria Cuturi 1881?
Yeah.
Is that the reason?
Yes, this is the reason. And the story is a love story because Don Tommaso Schiavoni, the old owner that created the Masseria and planted the vines, in 1881 got married with a countess that was living in Altamura. So
where is Altamura?
Altamura is near Bari, so it's nearby Gioia del Colle, so in the opposite side of Puglia, so in the eastern part. And
but was that a big deal? I mean, it's still kind of in the area, right?
Yeah, but at that time Primitivo wasn't here in Manduria, and after you probably know that right now Primitivo of Manduria is really popular all over the world. So how this variety came here through a love story, so through a wedding, and how this man decided to plant 100 hectares just in front of Masseria in one piece, then called the piece, so lupiezzu in dialect, and try to experiment this new variety and then give an example for the other farmers too that decided to plant Primitivo as well. So you can imagine how disruptive has been this story and how we actually decided to plant an unknown variety, because at that time they were cultivating Negramaro. Negramaro has been always the typical variety from Puglia, the autochthon variety from Puglia. So since that, the Masseria has been always a point of the estate of kind of an example for innovation, for production, for quality. And when we arrived, actually, there were even no vines at all, not even one vine, because this family, Schiavoni family, sold the property to another property that took over all the vines to receive money from the European community. So you can imagine when we arrived here, there was nothing at all, just sheep walking around the Masseria. So we decided to renovate and to give light to this Masseria and new energy, a new life. So we decided to replant the vines. Nowadays we reach 40 hectares, so not finished yet. So the dream is to be able to plant even the rest, so to reach the 100 hectares that was in the past. The piece was composed of 100 hectares, but in a special place called La Conca d'Oro, which is kind of a unique piece just in front of Masseria and near close to the sea, so just 4 kilometers from the sea. You could imagine even at that time how it was so surprising to enter in the Masseria and see all these vines all together in one piece. That's why many old men are still coming here telling me, oh, I was working here, how I'm so proud of you, of your choices to replant the vines, because we were so many working here. I spent all my life in here. So amazing stories from these people that gave their heart, their life to this project, and how they could see these new vines coming over and take the place of the old ones. So I'm really emotional as well when I meet these people, because I fall in love with them, because we are looking in the same direction.
There must have been some challenges, right? You're coming from Veneto as a producer, unknown producer in Manduria. What were your main challenges, and how were you able to overcome them? In Veneto, we are quite used to have everything for granted. So the connection, the mobile connection, Wi-Fi, connectivity, water, electricity, everything is for granted because it just exists.
Yeah, it just exists. If you wanna start an industry, you just raise your hand. The day after, they're gonna bring you electricity, water, whatever, right? Here it's not like that at all. So you need time, you need to be patient. For me, the Puglian entrepreneurs are kind of heroes because they have to fight with everything, with bureaucracy, with no infrastructures, for example. So everything is really difficult, really tough. So this is the main difficulties we found coming here.
So Camilla, give us a brief panoramic overview of the structure and the organization of Masseria Cuturi.
So Masseria Cuturi is kind of a settlement, like in the past for the Messapian population. So
It's huge.
yeah,
The extension is huge,
the
right?
extension is big. The Masseria also is quite big. But we thought that our mission is to create kind of a platform, so an azienda agricola, so a farm that could show people that are coming here how our lifestyle is healthy and close to the nature. So all the people that are coming here are surprised and amazed by the beautiness, but also by the sustainability, the energy that you can feel in here, because everything is edible, so you can walk around and eat herbs, fruit. You feel like in a paradise. So there are many activities that could show what is Puglia. So we are organizing foraging, wine tours, cooking classes, dance and yoga classes.
I should come for the yoga.
We are trying to give many activities because here the best thing is to stay here in the nature and share the beautiness and the philosophy that we are having here.
You have hospitality
Yes.
here, right? How many
Yes.
rooms do you have?
The Masseria is composed by, right now we have an hospitality center composed by 9 rooms plus 6 rooms that are coming, that we are building up right now. So this summer we're gonna have 6 more rooms. We have a glamping. We are the first glamping in Puglia. We only have 6 tents right now.
So tell me what glamping is. I have no idea what that even means.
Glamping is a word composed by glam, means glamour, and camping. The way to introduce camping in a different way, so in a sustainable, so it's not the typical camping. So we only have 6 tents, and these tents are really far one to the other one. So privacy and the silence is the main thing that you could experience. You are completely surrounded by nature. So, but instead of natural camping, you have some facilities and some comforts that you would never have in a normal camping. We decided to collaborate with Nordisk Village, and in Italy, in Puglia, we are the unique ones. Then we also have Academia, which is a place where we organize some courses. We are also a place where some startups comes here to understand and to use our fields as a playground. And 10 of these startups in agri-tech are coming here to work and understand better how to improve their ideas. Another structure called Cuturino, which is a street food bar where we offer our wines paired with really simple food like focaccia and simple and traditional food from here.
And that's Cuturino, which means small Cuturi.
Little house just near the street. So it really became popular as well with young people. So we made some concerts, with the COVID has been really interesting as well, because people were having food and wine in the countryside, under the stars, even dancing under the stars, and in a really freedom spirit.
Tell me a little bit about the restaurant.
The restaurant is called Don Tomà, so in honor with Don Tommaso Schiavoni, the last owner of this property. And we decided to create a restaurant that could cook everything we found around the restaurant. So We are using the vegetables that we have in our kitchen garden, the herbs that we found also walking around in the fields. That's why the foraging course, and all the products that we are finding even around with little farmers. So it's really challenging but really fun as well, because you could really understand the tradition, but also this new wave of new young chef that want to interpret the tradition in a different way, in a gourmet way. So I'm really proud of this project.
So how do you divide yourself between Veneto and Puglia?
Yes, it's a bit a mess. I should admit.
Because you're married, right? You have a life, you have a winery to take care of, also in Massimago. Also, you have hospitality, both in Verona, Massimago, and Padova. And now this is a huge structure to organize. You're just one person, how do you organize your personal life?
It's really challenging, because it's like having two kids that are 800 kilometers from each other. So when I'm here, I feel guilty because I'm not in Massimago, and when I'm in Massimago, I feel guilty because I'm not here. So yes, it's quite difficult, but you see, I have two wonderful teams that are helping me to go forward with both projects, and they're really enthusiastic and really focused and professional. So
I know it's unfair for me to ask you this question, but do you have a favorite? I know you're really, really young, okay? But should you retire one day, where would you choose to retire? In Massimago or in Cuturi? I think I know the answer, but I want to ask you.
I think I wouldn't pass always 6 months in here, 6 months over there.
All right, that's a very
diplomatic
answer.
Diplomatic answer. Yeah.
Okay, but it's because when we have been sharing some food and some wine, I feel like the quality of life is wonderful. You have great food, nature, and it's clean air. What more can you ask for, right? I feel like this is really a good life here. How can you go back to Verona? That's what I'm asking.
You see, you also need a stimulus. So people, that's why we are bringing here people. When I started in Massimago, I also thought the same thing. How I can stay in the countryside all over, all the time long. So I was stressed because I was thinking to be alone in the countryside. At that time, I didn't have a family that were living with me in the countryside, so I was a city girl. So it was scaring me. But when I discovered that the hospitality could help me to bring people and smart people in these places, that changed my life completely, because I understood that the people could change your point of view and your lifestyle. So the stimulus and the smart people that I need to meet to open my mind and make some contamination, crossing agriculture with economic people or fashion or whatever, it would be possible only inviting them in our farms and learn from them, even in a really comfortable and nice place as we are here, in front of a fireplace. So, yes.
So listen, one last question. What is your ambition? What are your objectives for the next 2-3 years? What are your plans? What would you like to accomplish?
I really look forward to be able to build up two completely different estates that could reflect the same philosophy. So for me, agriculture, farms, these farms should be kind of really a place where you can learn a different lifestyle, a different approach to the nature, to learn how to be sustainable. And talking with the farmers, I think people could even learn to be much more sensible and to learn how to really feel the difference and how the sustainability is important. So, for example, how the weather and of the pollution could take effects on our life.
So that's it. That's a wrap from Masseria Cuturi in Manduria, Puglia, with Camilla Rossi-Chauvenet. See you next time. Chin Chin with Italian wine people, and this ambitious project I think is worth a visit. Where can they find you? It's masseriacuturi.it?
.com.
masseriacuturi.com. Chin Chin.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on this final installment of Stevie's conversation with Camilla Rossi-Chauvenet at the Masseria Cuturi winery. Join Stevie next time for more wine adventures. And remember, you can also find more wine content by visiting Italian Wine Podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, or wherever you get your pods. Chin chin!